Welcome, welcome, friends and yogis at a distance. It's Reverend Shelley Dungan. Thank you for tuning in and wanting to spend some time with me doing gentle yoga. And tonight, if you can stay a little bit longer, I'll do a longer guided relaxation at the end, which I think will be important for us. So I have set up sacred space here, kind of transforming the Zumba stage into a little yoga studio. I've lit 2 candles. One is to symbolize your presence here virtually, and the other is my presence that I offer to you. And I am very indebted to Conley and David and Greg, who in the background are working hard to make broadcasting like this possible. And I'm very grateful to Common Fence Point community for opening their doors to the Sacred Center. So thank you to all of them. And you can find a seat. You can either cross your legs like mine are, or you could sit back on your heels. You're going to probably want a block for tonight, so you could even sit on the block, whether you're back on your heels or you are seated with the legs crossed. And let's begin. Please take your left palm and put it right over your heart. Slide your eyes closed and bow your head forward. Little personal check-in. How are you doing? What do you need for your mind and your heart and your spirit and your body? And please dedicate this embodied spiritual practice to your own healing and well-being. We'll add to that the second hand. The right hand comes on top of the left to symbolize that we practice yoga not only for ourselves but for others. So let's dedicate the good energy of our practice to the greater good, the increase of loving kindness and selfless service on the planet, and to the healing of all beings and our Mother Earth herself. And with your eyes closed and your head still bowed forward, start to tune in to the beating of your own heart, the natural flow of your breath, honoring your sacred center within yourself and wherever you are right now. And this is my prayer. Sacred loving presence, known by 1,000 names, yet beyond naming. May this time we share heal us, ground us, open us, ease our fears, and connect us to you as the source of endless love. By knowing that so many of us are practicing together at the same time, may we feel connected and strengthened. May we connect with our inner wholeness and a generosity of spirit that is our true nature. So in the space of this hour or so, as we breathe, stretch, and relax, help us trust even more deeply in the power of peace so that we might be the presence of peace. Thank you for this gift of time and the ability to practice yoga. Blessed be, and amen. So we're going to start with a little breath practice, but you might want to switch the cross of your legs if you are seated like that, just to have things feel different. And a really simple breath practice called box breathing is what we're going to do. And it's going to be forming the imaginary shape of a box. And for tonight, I'm thinking about that box being like a doorway that we're going to step through into the present moment. So as you breathe in, just imagine that you are drawing the line up one side of the doorway, and then you're going to pause, holding your breath as you go across the top of the doorway. Exhale, dropping down the side. Pause, and that closes the box or the doorway. So we're going to do that together. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Hold the breath out. A few more times. Inhale, coming up one side of the door. Pause as you cross the top of the door. Exhale as you drop down the other side. Pause as you close the box. 2 more times. Breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. Pause. Breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. And pause. And then just rest your palms right on your knees. Continue to breathe just like that, in and out deeply. And if you like that little pause, you could keep doing that. Otherwise, just simple flow of breath in and out through the nose. And as we continue to center and kind of wind our way into the moment, we're going to notice our 5 senses. So I'd like you, with eyes open, gaze out, and maybe you can just notice one thing in your environment that usually escapes notice. So just look at it. And take a breath, take a pause. No need to describe it or evaluate it. You're just gazing. And then sound. Aside from the sound of my voice, what else do you hear in your environment? And just notice exactly what you are hearing right now. And taste. You can take your tongue and run it around your teeth or the interior of your mouth. Notice any taste, or at least just the sensation of the teeth in the mouth. Still breathing. And touch. Either rub your hands together or rub your hands along the top side of your legs and kind of over your knees, and notice what your hands are touching, the skin or the cloth, temperature, texture. Just waking up our senses. And smell. Take 5 more deep breaths. Is there a smell present? Can you imagine widening your airways in order to receive more breath, more prana, more energy? And noticing the simplicity of just sitting and breathing. All right, we are going to transition now down onto our backs. So I want you to lay down. Good. And you can stretch your body out, and let's just start to wake up different parts. So just like you're taking off shoes that were a little too tight, wiggle your feet around. Like wiggle your toes, rotate your ankles. And then just that kind of wiggling and noticing can move up into the legs. Kind of like you're shedding really tight clothing that might have restricted you in the course of the day. And then when you get up to the shoulders and the arms, you can circle through your hands, stretch through your fingers as well. You can move your arms around maybe in a circular fashion. And eventually you can tip your head from one side to the other, just waking up the whole body. And then please step your feet in so your legs are bent, your feet are flat on the mat, and they're wide. Your arms come out wide as well, and really stretch out. Your palms are down, and then just press, like the back of your body is just hugging right down onto the earth. And tip your knees to the right, and then to the left. And keep committed to that deep breathing, to noticing your senses, noticing the moment as it is. And next time your knees tip to the left, let them hold over there. Keep your left hand down, but lift your right arm up and circle it around gently. But get a deep rotation into your right shoulder. And by pressing the legs over to the left, you're getting a stretch from your right hip to your right kneecap. And then come back around. Right palm lands, knees travel through the center, and they drop over to the right. Press your knees to the right. And then same thing, left arm. Big circles, particularly feeling into the left shoulder. Good. Arms come back out into a T. Hug your knees in towards your chest. One hand to each knee if that's best for you, or your knees can go wider and you can wrap your arms all the way around. If possible, you could interlace your fingers. And then as you rock from side to side, keep on feeling the ground underneath you. It's really good to connect with something that feels solid. So feel your skull against your mat or against the floor, your shoulders, your low back. And then switch your hands over to the front of your right knee. Stretch your left heel up. Pull your shoulders down away from your ears a bit. Lower your left leg down until it's just off the mat. Just hold it right there. Flex both of your ankles. If you feel like working a little harder, take your elbows apart and lift your right cheek towards your right kneecap. Feel how you're lifting deep from the belly. And then your shoulders and head come back down. Your left leg drops to the floor. If it's better for you to have it bent, perfectly fine. Right hand takes the right knee out to the side. Left arm comes out onto the floor to brace you. And then a little bit of movement here for your right knee. It could be circling. It could be just in and out, opening and closing the right knee. Keep pulling the left side of your body right down toward the floor. Hold your right knee all the way over to the right. Pause. Feel that wide stretch across the front of the pelvis and across your chest. And then glide your right foot to meet the inseam of your left leg and let your right leg be completely relaxed as it's bent to the side. Reach your arms straight overhead. Big stretch. And get your right hand to hold your left wrist. And then we're going to open the left side of the body. We're going to walk the head and shoulders to the right a little bit, still staying flat on the ground. Shortening the right side waist, opening the left side, and tip your head toward your right arm. Feel that little stretch for the neck, and especially that distance from your left heel to your left hand. From here, we're going to roll over onto our left side. So we're going to come right on over, bend your left elbow, put your head in your left hand, bend your left leg so that you can feel pretty stable, and then lift that right knee up and circle it around. And still keep focusing in on your right hip. I've got my right hand pretty broad and offering some stability here right in front of my rib cage. And then dip your right knee forward, lift it up, take it back, see if you can tap your right toes down behind you and just flow back and forth like that a few times. And keep on relaxing into the moment. Let your eyes be a little soft, no tension in the jaw. And next time your right knee comes forward, drop it all the way down and drop your right foot down as well. You can lift your right hand up, bend your left leg, and reach back. If you're able, grab the left foot, and as you pull your left heel in towards your left sitting bone, you get a great stretch for your left quadricep. And some of you will stay here. Some of you will drop down onto your left arm. And some of you, I suspect, will roll open even further. But you're taking good care of your back, and you're peeling open with the right chest, right shoulder. Take a few breaths here, and cat pulling its tail. Going to release the back foot, bring your right hand around, lift your right knee up, and just for fun, raise your right foot in the air, and you can either grab, kind of hook on the back of your right knee, or if you want to grab for your right big toe, you can do that, and guide that right knee towards your right ear to any degree. And as we release that, we're going to come down onto our back. Soles of the feet together. Kind of align yourself on your mat. Let your knees drop out. Feel a good strong stretch through the groin. Rest your palms on your belly, your elbows on the ground next to you. 5-breath pause. The pause is to recenter yourself in your breathing, come back to your senses and be still. Good. Please bring your knees together. Draw them in toward your chest. Give them a hug. You might want to curl up and bring your cheekbones toward your kneecaps. Stretch your back. And then as you put your head back down, hands come to the front of the left knee, right heel goes up in the air. Pull your shoulders down. Lower your right leg slowly until your right heel is just off the mat. Good. If you want a little extra core, lift up here, left cheekbone toward the left kneecap. You can flex your ankles and push some energy out through your heels. Navel toward the spine. Ease yourself down. Right leg comes straight to the ground or bent. The left hand stays on the left knee. The right arm is out to the side. And now circling with the left knee. In and out or circles, whatever works best for you. Keep drawing down toward the earth through your right shoulder, your right hip. Draw that left knee as far to the left as it will go. Pause right there. And then slide your left foot to touch the inside of your right leg. Let your left leg just drop as far as it goes. Reach your arms way overhead. Long body stretch. Left hand grabs the right wrist. And then we're side bending here. Keep extending out through your right leg. Kind of inch your head and shoulders to the left. Stay flat to the earth. Feel the shortening of your left side waist and the lengthening of the whole right side of your body. Breathe deeply, filling up your belly, ribs, and chest, and then long exhalation. Good. From here, I'm going to bring that left knee up, roll over onto your right side. You can come up onto your right elbow. Bend your right leg, lift your left knee up, your left palm's in front of you, and then circle. Left knee. Continue to feel into the left hip. And then come on over, tap your left knee down in front of you, lift it up, tap your left foot behind you. And do that a few times. You can put a sound to your breathing if it helps you stay a little more focused. And if you can't hear my music, you could always have some going on at your house. And then next time you lift that left knee up, come all the way over, let it drop down. Your left foot drops down too. And then lift your left hand up. Bend your right knee. See if you can grab your right foot. Cat pulling its tail on this side. Some of you will drop down. Your head will rest on your right arm. Might be a few who want to roll the chest open a little bit, but we all have a chance to open through the left shoulder. Feel a good stretch on your right quadricep. Good. And then you can let go with your left hand, lift up your left leg, and extend your left heel toward the sky. You can grab onto the back of the leg and just give it a little pull in, or reach up and see if you can take that yogi toe hold on your left big toe and give a little stretch right there. Feel that distance, left sitting bone to left heel. Good. Let's come onto our backs. One more time. Soles of the feet together, knees drop out. Your elbows rest right by your sides, palms to the low belly. 5 smooth, deep breaths. Keep letting the body stretch. Let the mind clear. Please bring your knees together now. Bring them back in. Take the knees wide. Lift your heels up. Some of you will grab behind the knees. Some of you will be able to reach up and grab the outer ridges of the foot for happy baby. And then a little rock side to side. Create as much length and grounding from your tailbone to the back of your head as possible. And then option to stay rocking or to hold or take the yogi toe hold on both big toes and just come right out into a straddle. Just whatever you choose, be in it fully. Listen to your body. Only do what feels intuitively beneficial for you. And then the feet come back up together. Bend the knees. We're going to come into a little flow with bridge. You're going to put your feet right down on the mat. And your arms are going to come up overhead. Push into your feet. Elevate your hips. Just a little pause there. Really do push firmly into the feet. Strong through your legs. And then lower your body back down. Knees come in. Hug the knees in. Bring your cheeks towards your kneecaps. We're going to flow like that a few times. We're going to lift up into bridge. And we're going to lower. And we're going to hug the knees in. So we're looking for a way to be kind of in the flow. Smooth movement. Really connected to the parts of the body that are in contact with the ground. And noticing where we're getting stronger, where we're cultivating more flexibility. One more time, hugging the knees in. And this time we're going to stay in bridge. Give you a few options here. So you can push down straight with your arms and just keep lifting up, or you can walk the backs of your arms under your shoulders, clasp your hands, palm to palm, interlace the fingers, press down with the arms. So you can have one more thing that would be kind of fun. Walk your left foot to the center, lift your right knee up, maybe your right toes toward the sky. And then bend your right leg. Put your right foot down in the center. Lift up with the left knee, and then up, point through your left toes. Breathe. Bend the knee right back down. Unbind your hands, widen your upper back, lower to the earth. Hug your knees in. And then we're going to be rocking up into boat pose. If that sounds like too much work, you can just roll over onto your side and sit up. Otherwise, can you swing up and find yourself right into boat? And you can keep your hands back. You can lift them up behind your knees. Try to keep on lifting from your low back and your low belly. You might want to come out with your arms. Woo. Boat's rocking. And then bring your feet right down. Take your feet wide, lean back on your hands. And then let's drop the knees here. Rocking them from side to side. And you can stay simple, or you can add the arms. So when I drop my knees to the left, I'm going to swing around with my right hand. Just kind of tap it on the ground. Come back over. Drop your knees to the right. Bring the left hand around and tap it down. So if you like that, you can do that a couple times with me. Do it at any speed that feels just right for you. Keep on breathing. Feel this sweet little twist through the spine. Low back all the way up. And then just come right back to center. When you're ready, you can join me in tabletops. We're going to come onto the hands and the knees. And just pause. Just notice your relationship with gravity is changing. Spread your hands widely. Your middle fingers point forward. And then press your hands in like you're just kissing the earth with your hands. And then drop your head. Take a peek at your knees. And then with a flat back, start to rock the table. Swing your hips from side to side. And you might want to swing your head and your shoulders. Rocking table. Okay, come right back to the center. Step each palm one step forward. Come forward with your chest. Look forward. Lower your hips part way down. And then pull your hips back with a strong belly. Bow toward the earth. Doesn't matter if your head touches or not. And that's the flow. We're going to rise, pulling up with the navel, coming forward, looking forward. Strong, strong arms. Exhale. Pull the belly in. Press your hips towards your heels. So you can find that flow that feels good for you. Definitely want you to be getting some upper body strengthening happening here, a little core. And then if you want to add the hips, you can circle your hips from one side through forward to the other side and back. And if you're starting to really feel like you're opening up and getting a little more flexible, you can make that even more exaggerated. And just check in, make sure that you're staying focused, and every time your mind drifts off, just smile, because this is what we do, but come back. Take the circles the other direction. Again, I encourage you to put a sound to your breath. One more time. And this time as we travel forward, we're going to pause, and then with a strong upper body, we're going to lower ourselves right down to the ground. So go slowly. First, feel that your thighs touch down, and the pelvis, your belly, your lower ribs. Pause. Slide your elbows forward and press right down into the elbows and the forearms. And as you push into the forearms, bring your ribs forward. And then relax. Feel that distance from your waist down to your feet. Feel the stretch that you're getting from the pelvis right up to your chin. Widen across the chest a little bit if you can, as if someone were putting their hand on the back of your heart and asking you to soften right there. No need to lift the chin unless that's what you like to do. You don't want to strain the neck. It's okay. Tip the chin down. Breathe. The work right here is to be lengthening the sides of the waist, drawing the chest forward. Nice. And then taking this down by taking our left forearm across the body, across the mat. Bend your right leg. Reach back with your right foot. Let's just get a nice little quad stretch right here. Breathe deeply. Increase that distance from your right hip crease to your right kneecap. Release your right foot. Swing your right forearm around so that right hand becomes the pillow. Bend your left leg. Reach your left hand back for the left foot. Draw the heel in. Good. Keep letting the thigh bones drop toward the earth, pelvis as well. Lengthening from left hip crease to the left kneecap. Then the opportunity to either let go and rest or grab for both feet at the same time. And since it's gentle yoga, definitely don't encourage anything that's overdoing it. So you can keep your head down if you want and just take the quad stretch. Or there might be some who know that it is safe for them to lift up, thighs off the ground, chest off the ground, and push your feet into your hands. Feel the stretch on the front of your shoulders. A lot of action through the glutes and the legs. Good job. Release. Bring your hands around, stack them, put one cheek down, bend your legs, windshield wiper your feet side to side. Just notice the simple breath as it comes and goes. We use that box breath to step right through that doorway into the moment, and here you are, laying on the ground, just swinging your feet around. And then slow that rotating of the feet down. Please drop your left foot slowly until you feel the toes of the left foot hit the ground. Same thing with the right. Lift your head up, turn the other way, opposite cheek down. Let the weight of your head go completely onto your hands. 5 breath pause. Please rise with me now. Slide your hands to frame your chest. Push in, peel your body up and back. And we're going to head into child's pose just for a few moments. And you could decide that this is where you want to stay. Or come with me into downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips up. And then reposition hands and feet according to your preference. Pedal out. The heels, bending one knee at a time. You might also like to come up onto your toes, so you feel a good stretch through the bottoms of your feet, and then sink your heels back down toward the ground. Keep lifting your hips as high as you can, shifting more weight toward your feet to lighten the load in your hands. Breathe. Give your head a little shake or a big shake. Good. And then look toward your hands. Walk your feet toward the hands. I realize some of you, your hands will come off the ground before your feet get anywhere near there, and that's just fine. And step your feet toward the top of your mat, and then fold your upper body toward your lower body. Grab your opposite elbows. You can bend your knees a little or a lot. Could be a few in the class who have their legs quite long, but don't lock your knees. And then swing a little from side to side. So we're in ragdoll. We're swinging. We're starting to wake up the soles of our feet. Getting ready to do a little standing salutation. Good. And release your elbows. I'd like you to roll to standing all the way up. Take your arms out to the side all the way up overhead. Bring your palms together. Slide your thumbs right down all the way to the heart. And pause right there. Lift your toes, spread them, widen, root down into your feet. And we'll do some half salutations. Hands come down, out, and up. Big breath in. You can look up if you want to. Breathe out, fold. Reach for the ground. Slide your hands partway up your shins. Press your chest forward. Straight arms long back. Breathe out, fold again. Reach for the ground. Inhale, roll up, push into your feet. Root, rise. In breath is here. Out breath and fold again. It's a fluid body prayer. Halfway lift. Breathe out to fold. Root, rise, roll up. And last time. Squeeze the breath out of your body completely. Lift halfway up. Heart is forward. Breathe out, fold, and this time fingertips to the ground. Good. And then step way back with your right foot. Drop your right knee down. Uncurl your back toes. Rise with the hands to the left knee. Sink your hips down. And then if you feel safe, the hands can come off the knees. And I want you to reach forward and just kind of this nice scooping and showering. So you might want to breathe in here like you're just lifting energy, beauty, grace, and it's just showering right over you. Inhale up. Exhale, just let it fall. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, let it shower down. And then look down. Take your right hand to the floor or onto a yoga block if you have one handy. Take your left hand to your left knee, twist to the left, slow and steady. Feel how the twist starts in your low back and it ripples up to the mid back, upper back, and it could include the neck. If you'd like more strenuous activity, curl your right toes under, straighten your right leg. And there might be some that want to lift the left hand straight up. Breathing in, breathing out. Only doing what feels good for you. Good. You're going to drop the back knee, bring the left hand down inside the front foot, and then we're going to start to walk our hands down the edge of the mat until you find yourself in a wide, straight leg, forward fold. Top of your head's coming down. Breathe. Feet are open wide. Big stretch, back of the legs, inseam of the legs. And then we're going to keep on walking toward the back of your mat. When you're ready, come right around and drop your left knee. Uncurl your left toes. So you're facing the back of your space, and just follow my words. You'll be fine. Your hands are on your right knee. Your hips are sinking down. You've got a different perspective in your room. And then if you feel like lifting your hands up, reach forward like you're scooping energy right up out of the earth. Exhale and just letting that good energy shower down all over you. A couple times like that. Inhale, scoop it up. Exhale, let it just pour over you. Good. Breathe in, scoop it up. Breathe out, let it flow. Look down. Put your left palm onto that yoga block or onto the ground. Right hand to your right knee, twisting right. Feeling how your left chest and your right knee might be getting a little closer. Option to curl the left toes under, straighten the left leg. Keep on rotating, twisting. Option to bring the right hand up. Deep breath, cleansing breath. Top hand comes down inside the front foot. We're walking our way back to that side of the mat again and into a forward fold. Top of your head drops down. Breathe. Options for you are to stay here or side lunge. So you could bend one knee at a time and just move your hips toward one heel at a time. Then you could bring your hips still and you could lean toward that open space between your legs. And if you want to take the bind, take your hands behind your back, palm to palm, interlace, lift your knuckles up. Feel how your shoulders come up away from your ears. Your look between the legs. Good. Nice. Unbind your hands and bring them right down to the ground. And then I'd like you to heel toe your feet in a bit until the toes turn out, the heels face each other, and you can drop down into a little squat. So, block could be handy. You can put that right down and have a seat, or you could decide that squatting is just not good for you, and then you could be on your seat if you wanted. And you could look down, just kind of stay like that, or you could look up and take your elbows in between your knees and your hands to your heart center, and then just a little bit of movement here. Let all 10 toes touch the ground and feel a deep dropping of the hips and a chance to breathe deeply. It's a huge stretch. So just stay present. If you're able to lift the heart a tad more and sink the hips, try that. Good job. And put your hands down, lift your hips up. Walk your feet toward each other, being just a simple fold. Breathe in, breathe out. And then please make your way right down onto your seat. And just like we started, we're just going to come back for a little mini meditation as we kind of shift our practice back down onto the earth. So the gesture of calm abiding, kind of gentle being, you could also say, is with the palms down. Relax your legs. If you need to sit on a block or you need to sit differently, do so. We won't be here long, but I do want you to have these little intervals where you stop and you breathe and you notice. So come back to your senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. All those things that are happening right now, and notice in open awareness. Do a little scan of your body. Notice what feels different, what is starting to feel warmer or more open. If there's anything that feels overtaxed, take good care of that as we move forward. So we're going to go deeper into the hips. I'd like you to take your right shin and lift it up. Take your left hand and grab your right foot. So it's right shin, yeah. And you can just start to rock your right leg across the front of your body. Nice. And feel into your right hip. And then from here, you can either lay that right shin right back down into a cross-legged seat before we fold and twist, or you can lift it up and bring it across. And then arrange your legs so that you've got this double crisscross, or double pigeon, sometimes it's called. Get the left hand guiding the right foot over to the side and maybe slightly back. And then sit as deeply as you can into your right hip. And in fact, you could take your right thumb into your right hip crease and push it down a little bit. And then from that rooted place, sit up a little bit taller. And I just find keeping the hands down on the ankle seems to be helpful. Tip your gaze down and start to lean your chest forward. And go in tiny increments so that you can also still keep on sitting deeply into your hips. Check in, see that your forehead and your cheeks and your jaw are soft and relaxed. And then guide your body back up slowly, but don't make it into a twist. Take your right hand behind you and take your left arm across. You can either use your left palm on the knee to help create the twist, or you can take your left elbow across, or you can straighten the arm. Breathe all the way from your tailbone right up to the top of your head, filling up your body with good energy, and then exhale, wring it out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then please turn toward the front. Unwind. You're going to lean over onto your left palm. Lift that right foot up with your right hand. Catch it. Bring it behind you. And then drop the knee down. Good. Hold your right heel in. And twist your upper body to look down towards your left thumb. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. One more stretch for the quadricep. And then we'll come out and do that on the other side. So we're going to switch the legs around. I've got the right leg folded in now. I'm going to lift up the left shin, right hand to the foot, left hand wherever it's best. Some people go here, some people go here, whatever works for you. And rocking back and forth, feeling the left hip. Also the challenge of sitting like this is not easy. Remember, notice what you're doing, feel whatever you're touching, notice what you're looking at. And then either lay that left shin in front of the right, getting ready to fold, or it comes up and over. Maneuver your feet toward the side, maybe slightly back if that's better for you. Sit deeply. You can take your left thumb into your left hip crease and press it down in order to root your left hip more deeply. Good. And then keep on descending with both hips, particularly the left. And we'll start to lean forward. The gaze can drop. Stay easy with the shoulders. Slow, deep breaths. Maybe it's time for a long sigh. Relax your jaw. Be pleased with yourself that you made time to do this. And then bring your body back up. You're going to twist to the left. So you can take your left hand behind you, right palm to the knee, or you can hook the elbow, or you can straighten the arm. Sit deeply. Inhale. Exhale, wring it out. Rotate. You're pressing into the back hand to help keep a lift to your spine. Strong cleansing breaths here. Good. Letting go, whatever doesn't serve you. Slow release back to the center and lean over onto your right palm. Take your left hand, lift that left heel up, bring it back and around. You can touch the left knee to the ground. Quad stretch here, and then turn your chest toward the right, look down towards your right thumb, and breathe. Beautiful. Please turn toward the front of the space. Let's come into a wide straddle. Your heels come out, and your legs might not be straight. They might be bent. You can take the padding of the buttocks and pull it back a little bit if that helps you sit up a little taller. And then drop the gaze. You can start to lean forward. Some of you who are tight might keep the hands behind the thighs on the ground. Some of you might keep the hands on the legs, and some of you might take your hands out in front of you. And then start to walk the palms forward. Again, drop the gaze, tuck your chin in slightly so that your neck feels equally long on all sides. Breathe. Stay deep in the hips, attending to the deep stretch, back of the legs, inseam of the legs. And then we're going to walk the hands right back in. Good. Bring your feet together. And before we come down onto our backs, I'm going to go sideways. Let's do another boat pose. So you can lean back, and you can just float your toes up off the ground just slightly if you want to. Or you can make it as difficult as you want, bringing the feet higher, sitting up brighter, hands behind the knees, or maybe arms overhead. Those of you that like to grab for the toes, you can try that. Lift up from your low back as well as your low belly. And if you roll onto your back, you just entertained yourself. So that's fun. Bring your feet back together. Put them down. And then stretch out your legs. And you're going to roll onto your back. But before you do, make sure you have a block close by, because you're going to want that. So any way you want to get down onto your back is good. Stretch really long. Like longer. reach out through your fingertips and your toes. Spread the toes, spread the fingers. Give everything a good squeeze. All the muscles. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax completely. The muscles just quickly go soft and the bones feel heavy. So we're not in final relaxation yet. But I do want you to scan your body. Bring your mind's eye to the tips of your fingers. And glide your awareness from the tips of your fingers down through the palms of your hands, through the length of your arms, through the armpits and shoulders, the chest and ribs, the belly and low back, the hips, thighs, knees, lower legs, ankles, heels, feet, toes. Please bend your legs and put your feet on the floor. Reach for your block. As you push into your feet, lift your hips up and put the block underneath your hips. And you don't want the block in your low back. You want it across your hips. And then please keep your left foot on the ground. Bring your right knee in. Interlace your fingers on the front of your right knee. And then start to experiment with lengthening your left leg. For some, you'll slide your left foot a little further away, and that's going to be enough of a stretch for you in the front of the left hip. Others of you are going to go pretty straight with the left leg. And as you push your left thigh to the ground, also guide your right thigh in towards your right rib cage. And just keep on coming until you feel a good strong stretch. You don't need to overdo it. Circle your right ankle a few times. Notice if you are shrugging your shoulders up by your ears, you're creating tension, and that's not what we want to do right now. So shoulders are eased down away from the ears. Good. Release your right knee. Put your right foot on the mat and bring your left knee in. Interlace the fingers. Good. Start to slide your right foot forward. Some of you it'll be a little, some of you it'll be a lot until the right leg straightens. And as the right thigh bone pushes down, draw your left knee in. Find that balance between pushing down and pulling. And then circle your left ankle. And now, as you let go of your left knee, both legs could be lengthened. Whether they're straight or not is up to your wisdom. But I want you to feel a great long stretch from your waist down through the front of your hips, legs to the feet. And you might want to match your upper body to your lower body by taking your arms overhead. Take 5 smooth, deep breaths. Filling up belly and ribs and chest. Long breath out, completely empty at the bottom of the exhale. Please bring your arms down by your sides on the floor. Bring your right knee in. Your left knee in. Float your feet up for supported shoulder stand. Your knees can be quite bent. I'd like this not to be too much work for you. So if you can make adjustments in order to feel like your feet are floating above your hips, that would be ideal. And feel the shift of weight that starts to come down into your chest. You're slightly inverted here. And then you have the option, if you want, to float your feet apart. Don't push them, but could you allow the feet to part, come into a straddle? If you want to take the hands on the inseam of the legs, that could be helpful. And some of you will probably want to point and flex your feet. And then just find some stillness for a few breaths here. Slide your hands to the outside of your legs. Close them up like you're closing a book. Bend at the knees. Your feet come right down onto the ground. Push into your feet and lift up. Slide that block out and put it in your left hand. Put that block over to the left so when we come into our spinal twist, your knee could land on that block if it's helpful for you. So at this time, please pull your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around. Little simple rocking, or you can come back to happy baby, holding the opposite feet. Rock side to side. And then eventually the arms will come out into a T shape. And you're going to drop your legs to the left. And just see if it's helpful for you to let your legs land on that block or have a little bit of support there. Do it. And if not, another thing you could think of is putting the block between the legs and letting them drop over. Then there might be some don't need it at all. So I want you to feel the back of your head, the spiral shape of your spine, the way that your left outer hip is kind of grounding and settling and melting right down toward the ground. It's important that your feet are relaxed. Then you can take your left palm on your top knee and gently ease it down. Relax your chest open, drop your right shoulder. If it feels good for your neck, you can turn your head to the right. You might want to roll your right palm up. Relax your tongue to the lower jaw. You're still breathing with intention, but it's a little slower now. Good. Any variations that you would like, we'll be staying a few breaths longer, so there is time for those who want to take the left hand and grab the right foot and find extension in the twist here. So use your common sense. And when you do feel ready to switch over to the other side, legs come back, knees come back across center. You can switch that block into your right hand. Use it however is most helpful for you. If you want to land the legs on the block, do so. And you might have limitations that make it so the block is helpful for you on one side and not so much on the other. Let it all drop down. Right hand can help ease the top knee down, increasing the rotation. Widen across the chest, drop your left shoulder. Turn your head to the left, and you can turn your left palm up if you would like. Feel the coming and going of each breath. Feel the softness of your spine as it eases into this final twist. You can stay right there, or those who want to take the right hand, grab the left foot, and just find a long extension of some sort right there. You can. And eventually, we're all going to come back, put the feet on the ground, and then you can make any preparations that you would like for final relaxation. I'm going to sit up to talk to you, but what I'd like you to do is to get comfortable. If you have socks or a sweatshirt that you want to put on, this would be a good time. If you want to cover yourself up with a blanket, that's a great idea. And I hope that you can stay a little longer. I do see that it's 7 o'clock, so if you have need to leave class, I would understand that completely. But if you can stay for another 10 or 15 minutes, it would be my pleasure to guide you through a deeper relaxation, kind of like what I do in my live classes. So take your time in your preparation. And I realize there could be a few who don't want to lay down, who want to spend the next 10 minutes or so in a seated meditation, and that would be fine also. So as you are on your back, what I suggest is take your hands. I'm thinking about how fatigued our eyes are from looking at screens all day, including taking this class. So if you want to rub your hands together, just kind of stimulate the healing qualities in your hands. Give them a good rub. So, and while you're on your back, take your palms and cover your eyes. And just have the intention for your closed eyes to receive the warmth of your touch. Just communicating that healing quality to the eyes. With the eyes having been used so much, let them rest and let your inner vision grow. As your hands are ready to leave your face, you could even take your fingertips from right where they are, just swipe them across your forehead, down along the sides of your temples, your cheeks, and then let your arms come right down onto the ground by your side. You can have your palms facing up, or some people feel very comforted to have their arms bent and their palms somewhere on their torso. So with the eyes closed, you can scan your inner body. By that I mean the unseen energy field of what's inside of you. Open to noticing the beauty of the spiritual radiance within you. Allowing your sacred space, the room where you are, to support you. A field of loving, supportive energy. Your breath is calming down. You don't need to try to do anything. You're just sinking in to drink deeply of the subtle beauty that nourishes your soul. And in the philosophy of yoga, there's a concept called santosha, and it means contentment. And this is the posture where we open to that contentment where you don't need anything to be different than it is right now. And as you let go, allow relaxation to fill each part of your body. It is spring, and there is rebirth and renewal, freshness throughout creation. So notice anything, even the smallest sensation, that feels in harmony with newness and freshness, renewal, rebirth. Pablo Casals says, each second we live is a new and unique moment of the universe. A moment that never was before and never will be again. So stay in this moment. That is where the invisible lover is, as close as your breath. So you're resting in the space of relaxed curiosity and openness. More and more, you're letting your body settle and melt. Feel the back of your head release its full weight to whatever is holding you. Notice the gentleness of the way your eyelids cover your eyes. And let your skin of your face just smooth out from the inside. No tension, no worries. Allow your throat to soften and the back of your neck to release its weight toward the earth. Continue to feel the letting go as you allow your shoulders and chest to relax more deeply. Maybe a sense of broadening across the collarbones. Just feel the presence of your arms, like liquid relaxation running down your arms. Also feeling the presence of your hands. Just calm, relaxed, not grasping, not holding, just easy. Continue to notice the presence of the physical form, softening further. The weight of your torso as it rests on the ground. Your back ribs resting and your front ribs melting down. There's just a natural rise and fall to your belly as your body breathes itself. Your low back is allowed to release and drop. And the softness of your hips just keeps on opening and feeling broad and earthy and heavy. Notice the presence of your legs, like two rivers of relaxation running down the thigh bones, over the knees, down your lower legs. Your calf muscles relaxing right down into the earth beneath you. And your ankles and your feet are relaxed. You can feel your heels melting. Sense of ease for your toes. And your whole body, just one field of unified, harmonious energy. And in the deep rest of this posture, you're able to integrate not only the yoga that you did, but the life that you're living. This is an integration time. It's contemplative. It's not reaching for anything, but you allow wisdom to whisper to you if that's what happens. And I'd like to remind you that at the center of your being, beneath all circumstances, that all is well. So please continue to rest. Hold silence for a few minutes, and then I will close us with a reading. Please keep resting while I read to you from a book called From Root to Bloom. They're poems by Dana Falds, and this one is called Buoyancy. I've regained a natural buoyancy, as if the spirit in me just won't stay down for long. It still surprises me to be the witness of these moods. Overnight, I shift from sad and brooding to joyous. In one day I may feel grief, contentment, anger, ease, and bliss. Feelings lift and lower like a rowboat on the waves. I am neither the stories I tell myself nor the emotions that accompany the tales. I am the one who witnesses, who sees the spider spin her web without getting caught in the sticky threads. This is what I have to say to you. Do not let the day slip through your fingers, but live it fully now. This breath, this glimpse of newly risen sun catapulting you into full awareness. Time is precious. Minutes disappear like water into sand unless you choose to pay attention. And since you do not know the number of your days, treat each as if it is your last. Be that compassionate with yourself, that open and loving to others, and that determined to give what is yours to give, and to let in the energy and wonder of this world. If you are tempted by complacency to miss the gift of twin fawns in your yard, or the scratching of the finch at the feeder, choose to be awake instead. Experience everything. Writing, relating, eating, doing all the necessary little tasks of life as if for the first time, pushing nothing aside as unimportant. You have received these same instructions many times before. This time, take them into your soul, for if you choose to live this way, you will be rich beyond measure, grateful beyond words, and you will be able to arrive at the end without regret. Please start to deepen your breath. Allow yourself not to rush in the concluding of practice. So, easy flow of breath in and out, starting to resync with being intentional about the way you're breathing and about what you're noticing. And then start to move your hands and your feet. You can circle your wrists and your ankles. If you're laying down, you probably want to take a long stretch. Feel the whole scope of your body, much more spacious than before, I certainly hope. And then hug your knees in towards your chest. And if you want to curl your cheeks up toward your kneecaps for a moment to open the back of your spine, that could feel good. And then just lay your head back down, bring your knees in over your chest and roll onto your right side. And I love to do that. Just roll onto your right side, put your right cheek on your right arm, and just stay right here in this fetal position and count your blessings. Gratitude is good medicine. And then when you are ready, press yourself back up to a seat. Sit a way that's comfortable for you. And you can come back to that gesture of calm abiding or gentle being with your palms right on your knees. And just pause. Feel what's shifted for you. You invested some time in your well-being. It will radiate out to those who share space with you, I'm sure. And let's stack the hands over the heart. A little bow to the sacred practice that we've had together tonight. Honoring your sacred space within you. And then as a gesture to be willing to share the fruits of our practice with others, let's stretch the arms out wide, just like that. We've got a lot to share. And then bring your hands up overhead. Feel the palms touch, just reaching toward the heavens. And then slide your thumbs right down the center line. Bring your thumbs back to your heart. Give a little bow. pausing here for a moment or two of silence for your own thought, wish, or a prayer. And I send you all wishes for peace, health, and happiness now and always. Namaste. Thank you for being with me. I hope you have a great night.